when you go to the supermarket, how do you expect fruits to look like? Hi, I'm Arturo, and I'm gonna be talking about fruit quality assessment. First, we have to ask ourselves, what is fruit quality? It isn't a single well-defined attribute. Instead, it is a set of different external and internal characteristics of the fruit. So when you go to the supermarket, you expect to find perfectly shaped, colorful, shiny fruits like the fruits in this picture. But what happens during the different post-harvest stages? The fruit may be hit, for example, and this could lead to bruising because of the phenols and polyphenol oxidase reactions taking place in the damaged area. And why is bruising a big deal? Well, because it could lead to rot due to fungal or bacterial growth, and this could lead to economical losses, but more importantly, to health issues, because some fungi produce mycotoxins that can cause infections or allergies in those who ingest them. And you can detect bruises by simple visual inspection, but it can become a tricky task when you're dealing with a fruit that has a naturally dark skin, like a blueberry. And a single infected fruit might contaminate the whole batch, so that's why this is very important. Now, what about inner quality? Okay, think of a green banana, which eventually turns into a fully ripe yellow banana. And during this ripening process, there are biochemical changes taking place. Starches are hydrolyzed into simple sugars, the carboxylation of organic acids take place, and therefore acidity abates. And these changes have an impact on the eating quality of the fruit because it becomes sweeter and less acidic. Now, how do we relate external and internal attributes of the fruit? Okay, take a look at these tomatoes. They go from green to red because of the degradation of chlorophyll and the development of other pigments such as lycopene. And at the same time, inside the tomato, there are chemical changes taking place. Soluble solids are increasing, acidity is decreasing, and the texture of the fruit is also changing. As we can appreciate in this figure, as the fruit becomes softer, it also becomes sweeter and less acidic. So now, how do we assess fruit quality? There are many traditional methods to do this. You can determine acidity by titratable acidity test, or you can compress a fruit to find out about the force required to puncture its skin in order to assess firmness, or you can use a refractometer to measure soluble solids, or you can perform HPLC to quantify pigments, vitamins, or other micronutrients. But the problem with these methods is that they are laborious and time-consuming. They're also not environmentally friendly because of the toxic solvents that are used. They're destructive. That means that only a few samples per batch can be tested, and they can also be subjective. Remember trying to find bruises in a blueberry? So that's why in the agro industry, there's this need of developing new sensing techniques that are much more efficient, objective, accurate, automated, and of course, non-invasive. Think, for example, acoustic methods to assess firmness in fruit. So you don't have to puncture the fruit anymore. You just have to make it vibrate. Or think of computer vision to inspect for bruises or fungal infections, or combining this machine vision with the spectroscopy to create another technique that we call hyperspectral imaging, with which you can assess inner quality of the fruits, like soluble solids or acidity, etc. So now, just to conclude, I'd like to remind you that quality isn't a single well-defined attribute of the fruit, but it involves several internal and external aspects of the fruit. There are many traditional methods to assess this fruit quality, but the problem with them is that they are tedious, expensive, time-consuming, and not environmentally friendly, etc. So therefore, we need to develop new sensing techniques that are much more efficient and, of course, non-invasive. So these are my references. And thank you very much, Dr. Ngari, or TA Christopher, my primary reviewers, and everyone.